crazy loot explosion in Vessel of Hatred. This is from the Mercenaries. Look at all these items, man. Greater affixes, boss materials, a bunch of crafting materials. All the stuff here. Just from farming a few hours, man. The Mercenaries are amazing. Let's go. So much loot. Pew! Hey everybody, it's Rob here. We are in the Mercenary Den in the Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred expansion in the new zone in Nahantu, and I will show you a great way to get greater affixes and boss materials as well as masterwork and crafting materials with your Mercenary. So there is this vendor here that is called bartering, the new mechanic, and you can basically buy items for Mercenary reputation. So whenever you get your Mercenary, you can actually level him up, and once he is max level, you can still gain more rapport to gain more pale marks that you can then use to, well, I'm just gonna call it Gamba, more items. So you see here, like every time I level up Subo, I get 200 pale marks, and for those 200 pale marks, I can buy a lot of juicy stuff that is getting me greater affixes, boss materials, crafting materials, and masterwork materials, everything. And it actually is pretty cheap. Like you see here, some of these items only cost like 20, and there can be greater affix items here, and there can be higher aspects, like they are changing the aspects. And once you get them in Ancestral, they can roll a bit higher. You can see this is the new Moonrise, for example, rolling up to 100%. So the way you do it, you level your Mercenary, and you can level your main Mercenary and the Mercenary that you have in a reinforcement. If you are playing alone, you get XP for both of those. And I'm just going to show you here, like for example, you can just go here and just buy these caches. Basically, you can change the stock, basically refreshes the entire page and gives you a bunch of new items. For example, here I got masterwork material, thank you very much. I got another resource aspect, and these all can have greater affixes. So what I can do here, like I'm going to open the masterworking caches. You see here, these contain Obduxite, and they contain the orbs that you can gamble with. And you can also open the boss summoning caches, and you look at this, like they actually sustain large amounts of summoning materials to then spawn the bosses to then basically get the new mythic uniques. And you can see like there was, for example, a bunch of fears. Oftentimes you get a bunch of blood and just a very good amount of materials in general. And you can also open like these normal chests here, and you see here like you keep getting greater affix items basically out of these as well, and that basically can all be an upgrade. And you also get like a bunch of aspects. This is especially useful if you're starting a new class, or if you are starting out of class. For example, I got +3 to Furnace, which is a really strong passive for the Spiritborn, but I won't be needing it on this variant. But you guys can see here, like there's also a good way basically here to get aspects, right? Like you can just take all these. I'm just picking up all these. I don't need to check them anymore, but you're also getting a lot of, this is actually a decent ring. You're also getting a lot of materials, like you salvage something, boom. And down here you can see, let me remove my camera for a second, that you get a ton of materials for all this as well. And again, there's also, I think, a crafting caches, like here's salvage materials. You see here, I got an upgrade here now just for an aspect that you can already see by this icon here, that it's giving me basically a new aspect here still. Even though I've already played for like 70 hours, I'm still getting like upgrades here. And yeah, Moonrise, and then here, okay, perfect. Like we actually got a triple greater affix item. So you see, these have a very high chance of occurring as well. Obviously this one isn't as great, but you know, like you can just keep refreshing, and you don't have to buy anything. Like if you just want to target farm like greater affixes, you just keep refreshing, and I'll still buy some stuff here because these actually have a very good chance of having greater affix items as well. But you see, like you can just refresh here very quickly, and basically like see, there's another one here, boom, another greater affix item, and you can basically like target farm the greater affixes, and then I'm very sure if I'm going to open all of these, like there's going to be here, boom, like more, like 2 additional greater affix items. And I think this one should be an upgrade again. You see here, boom. This is how you can max out your Corax of Power, because again, the Ancestral greater affix items, they can roll higher than their counterparts. You see here, they changed this completely, where like all the stats and those Ancestrals roll way higher. You see, this is a normal chest. You see, okay. Yeah, this is a normal chest, and this is like a greater affix chest. And they have like way higher stats overall. Like you see the res rolls from 40 to 50. The life will roll much higher. The dexterity will roll much higher. Like basically all the stats will simply just roll much higher and much better. I'm gonna check this one. This is actually a decent ring. This is like almost as good as the ring I'm currently using. So I'm gonna keep this one for sure. And you guys can see here, like this is a life roll. Let me see if I have another one with life. Yeah, you see. This is a life roll on a normal ring. It only rolls to 272, and this is a live roll on a high ring. It basically has like 50% more stats, so that is incredible. And this one is gonna definitely go into my stash. We got another aspect upgrade. This one is gonna go into the stash here. Yeah, it went here. My stash is a bit unorganized for sure. We've been grinding a lot, and we'll just pick up the rest here. And this all gives like good materials from salvage. I don't need to check the non-greater affix items. And yeah, you have a good way of farming these. So this is like all the 4 mercenaries. You can hire them all. They all have skill trees. They all have reinforcements that you can basically pair with your skills. Right now I have Bastion paired with Quill Volley. I have a separate video that I'm also going to link below about all of this. But let me show you real quick how I, at least on this test version here, was able to farm the mercenary up. You guys can see here, we basically just, you want to be solo, so you have both the mercenaries. This is a video here of me doing hordes in T4 with the Spirit One, Quill Volley, Lightning Eagle build. And you guys can see here like how fast the rapport is leveling up in hordes, because you get a tremendous amount of XP in these hordes. And every time like he reaches a max level, you get 200 pel max. And you notice here already that the main mercenary is leveling a lot higher. So the mercenary that you actually hired, he's getting a lot more XP. See, boom, he's about to level up here. And this is 200 pel max, and that's actually like 4 full resets, because one reset, as you remember, costs a 50. And you see here, like one wave gives me like a full level basically. So it was going like very fast, and you can level it extremely well in the hordes, and maybe the pits worked very well as well. However, I recommend you play solo, so you get the higher mercenary and the reinforced mercenary. If you do this in a group, you only get the reinforced mercenary, so you don't get the double dipping or the double bonus. And also you see the main mercenary, he's gonna level way faster than the reinforced mercenary. You see, for my testing, it gets XP at around double the rate, so it's basically 100% more efficiency for the main mercenary. So if you think about this, if you're playing solo, you actually have a big advantage in this case, because you have your enforcement and your main mercenary with you, and your main mercenary is gaining XP at a double pace. So you're actually 3 times more efficient if you're playing this solo in terms of pelmac leveling. And I think that's really cool, because Diablo 4 has been catered a lot to group players, especially with the addition of Dark Citadel and other things. So I think it's very cool to see that this actually works, and you can actually very comfortable play solo without losing efficiency. In fact, here you will also gain efficiency. So this is a very nice way to get it like that. It doesn't really matter which mercenary you hire, but I want to show you something else cool. Like right now I have the Subo mercenary, and he is extremely strong because he has this affix here called the Seeker. And I think this is a complete game changer. Also, if you like need to target farm some other materials such as rawhide or iron chunks, and I'll show this to you here real quick. He will basically show you the entire map. It's basically like their own built-in little like map hack, if you will, or feature. And I'm really hoping that at some point they might make this like as a baseline feature, because this is amazing. And you'll notice this immediately once I go outside of the town. You see here, you can see all the mercenaries on the minimap, all the enemies on the minimap, and you can also see, you know, wherever the plants are. So you guys can see here, there's a Screaming Hellvine, like I can see it on the map, so I can just take it. I can see down here, there's a flower, so I can just take it, and I get bundled herbs. And it just continues to work like that. Like you can see all the enemies, so I know where everything is, and nothing can hide from me. And I will also always get all the Hellvanes and everything. So this is extremely useful. Again, this is the Subo mercenary with the baseline Seeker talent here. Reveals all enemies and materials in the area. It's the passive effect. You always have it. And you can basically just rock around and go from iron chunk to iron chunk or from herbs to herbs. Finally a viable flower farming build here with the super mercenary. You see here, boom, pick up all the flowers. And what's very important is the iron chunks, because a lot of people are lacking that. Iron chunks is a scarce resource, so you basically want to be picking those iron chunks. And here, boom, there's a flower here in the middle, and I mean you can see all the enemies too, which is also extremely helpful. And boom, here another hell vein, so we can just like basically blast like this, pull the enemies together, slay them all. And you guys can like kind of just stop where there's a lot of enemies and just get yourself an ambush, and then you can open the chests and get even more stuff. Here, boom, chest open. Here I kill the goblin. It shows everything. It even shows the goblins, at least when you're in close range. There were some bugs with it, I think, but overall it's very extremely useful. And yeah, see, he's never wrong, man. There's a flower right here, Rob. I just didn't see it. So yeah, that's pretty insane, I think. And the Mercenaries is a very cool system. I will have another video again explaining how they work and what builds I recommend playing on the Mercenary. I'm going to link that below, and I'm going to have videos for my Spiritborn and everything here on the YouTube channel as well. I hope you enjoyed. I think the system is really cool, especially the way it favors solo players. And I've been farming quite some pay max, and this is how you can also gear your alternative character. So I was basically farming on the Spiritborn, and then I made my Barb, and I could just go on the Mercenary then and just gamble all the items and all the aspects I needed for my Barb. So that was very comfortable, and it's just another nice way of like making it easier and more comfortable to get your alts. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, my friends. I will have a lot more videos coming, and I will see you soon. GG, take care. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.